Hello, everyone. We're coming to you from World Hydrogen Week here in Copenhagen. My name's Sam Ernest. I'm a senior analyst at S&P Global Commodity Insights, and I'm joined by Miquel Lope, Vice President of the Northern Continent at Air Products. And to kick us off, can you please give us some insights into what Air Products do in the hydrogen economy?
Thank you, Sam. So Air Products is one of the leading industrial gases companies in the world. And within those industrial gases, one of them is hydrogen. We're actually the largest hydrogen supplier in the world. And we've been in hydrogen for more than 60 years. Within hydrogen, and that position gives us, I think, the mandate to lead the renewable hydrogen and the low carbon hydrogen economy. So we have more than $15 billion projects in execution globally on low carbon and renewable hydrogen. And we also have several projects on developing downstream investments from that hydrogen economy.
Okay, very, very interesting. And some of your projects, you've obviously got involvement in the NEOM project, the green hydrogen complex in Saudi Arabia. Can you give us some more insights into Air Products' involvement in that project?
Sure. So the NEOM Green Hydrogen company or complex is actually the largest project in the world being executed of renewable hydrogen. We are an equal partner into that, and we are the exclusive off-taker. So in essence, the project, what it does is installs 4 gigawatt of capacity of renewable energy, 2.4 of solar and 1.6 of wind. And out of that, it will come around 600 tons per day of renewable hydrogen. It will be transformed into ammonia to be able to ship it outside of Saudi Arabia. And 1.2 million tons a year of renewable ammonia will come out of that. It will be shipped globally. Quite a large portion of that, we expect that it will come into Europe. And then in Europe, it will be transformed again into hydrogen, and it will serve the hard-to-abate industries like refining, chemicals, steel, and also the transport, both road and maritime transport. So that is, in essence, the NEOM project.
Okay, no, interesting, and being able to assess all the different markets that low carbon hydrogen can really help decarbonize. And I want to touch on road transport, because I know that Air Products are involved in multiple hydrogen refueling station projects to create a network around Europe. Can you give us some more insights behind some of that project there?
Sure. So Air Products, as the global leader in hydrogen, we've been in refueling applications for more than 25 years. We actually refueled already millions of times in road transport, cars, heavy duty, etc. So again, now with the mandate in the European Union to decarbonize several industries, one of them transport, we announced recently the construction of a network of hydrogen refueling stations across the what it's called the 10T corridor, so the main highways in Europe. And the first ones will come on stream in Germany and the Netherlands, which is where regulation is starting to fall into place much clearer. And which means that we're not only talking about the hydrogen economy, we're also shaping it. And in those hydrogen refueling stations, we also have our own trucks refueling there. We have a large fleet of trucks delivering our products. So we're also committed to converting those trucks into hydrogen fueling, and therefore fueling and also in those stations.
Okay, no, that's good to hear. And of course, in order for what we've been hearing about here this week, in order for low carbon hydrogen to really come to market, there are still some hurdles and challenges that need to be overcome. What do you see as perhaps being one of the big or main breakthroughs that you expect to come over the coming years for low carbon hydrogen?
So the biggest hurdle that we need to overcome as an industry, both policymakers and industry, is that the very good regulatory framework that the European Union has started to put in place through RED III and RED II before that, and the gas package, that needs to be translated into local country level legislation, and we need to have long-term visibility of that stability of that legislation at country level. So we need that to happen. Some countries like Germany and the Netherlands are making very good steps towards that, and they're providing clarity. And that's why some of the investments are progressing faster in those countries. Some other countries are still debating at country level, the extent of it, the pace, and obviously that they need to follow their process. But that is the main hurdle that we have in front of us to make it real, to start the takeoff.
Okay, fantastic. That's a very useful piece of insight there, I think. And then another question that I'd like to ask you is really we've spoken about some of the projects you're developing, and I'm interested in. You mentioned how Europe could be looking to import low carbon hydrogen. What sort of vision does Air Products have in terms of Europe's potential to import low carbon hydrogen from other regions, and what are the sort of timelines and key things that we should be looking out for there, do you think?
Yes, so Europe in their targets of hydrogen production and hydrogen use in Europe for up to 2030 and then 2050 already expresses that half of the product that will be used will be imported, because there's not enough renewables in Europe, there's not enough space to produce it locally. So it has a lot of potential, and some of the projects that we are developing show that potential. We have the infrastructure, we can make those projects work in Europe. The recent announcement of the first contract with Total Energies for 200 tons per day of imported hydrogen from the Air Product sources globally, it's a fair sign. So there's starts to exist a market, exists someone that's going to buy it, and we are working closely with them to make it happen and make it real. So over the next 6 years, and even less than that, we'll start seeing reality in Europe from Air Products. Like I say, from production to the hydrogen refueling stations, we'll see those projects delivering in Europe over the next, I would say, 3 to 6 years.
Okay, fantastic. A really good sense of timeline there. You say 200 tons per day. Just quickly to get a sense of scale, as Air Products are, experienced in the hydrogen sector. How much hydrogen is 200 tons per day? What can you do with that?
Well, 200 tons per day is actually more or less, depending the size of the refinery, what our refinery consumes today normally of gray hydrogen to produce their products. So today, a world-scale hydrogen plant, it'll be around between 150 and 300 tons per day of hydrogen. So it's the first world-scale green hydrogen or renewable hydrogen installation in Europe servicing a refinery or any other industry.
Okay, that puts it into perspective, certainly. And then one final question that I have for you, having now experienced some of the talks and some of being able to speak to people around the conference here at World Hydrogen Week, do you have one or two takeaways maybe that you're able to share with us about the experience that you've had this week?
Yes, I was earlier in a panel and we were all talking about the legislation falling into place. So I think that has to be one of the things that we need to be able to bring to regulators and policymakers. That legislation needs to be put into place as soon as possible, because 2030 is tomorrow. And if projects don't take FID very quickly, they're not going to be ready for 2030. There are going to be regulatory challenges, there are going to be permitting challenges, so regulation needs to fall into place. And then the other thing is collaboration. You really need to partner with other companies to make this happen, to your customers, potential off-takers, but also with technology partners that can help you take this off. So that's my two key takeaways.
Fantastic. Thank you, Miquel. Very, very informative.
Thank you.